Honestly, I don't know why it came to me. I almost sang, make we na dance, oh, make we na dance. Oh, yeah, baby. And dance, you know. Anyway, good morning, Jasiri lovers. No better way to start the weekend than with a scintillating Hot Topics Special episode. After saying the word scintillating smoothly, I dare say purr. I want to dare you ladies with a tongue twister. Are you ready?
Already.
You are going to say Jasiri jaw-dropping journalist 5 times without blabbing.
What do we win? What does the winner get?
Jasiri jaw-dropping journalist 5 times without blabbing.
What does the winner get?
The winner shall get what our producer decides to give.
No, now. We don't have any things now. What is it? You need to give us something.
See, that's a real Nigerian character.
Something.
Give us something before we say. Give us something before we say no. Jasiri Jasiri jaw-dropping journalist. Jasiri jaw-dropping journalist. Jasiri jaw-dropping journalist. Jasiri jaw-dropping journalist. Jasiri jaw-dropping journalist.
Annie with the
You mean what?
Try now.
Why?
Jasiri jaw-dropping journalist.
Jasiri jaw-dropping journalist. Jasiri jaw-dropping journalist.
It's because he started to laugh.
Oh, I know Annie was going to laugh. That's what she was going to do. So,
I don't even know if I... Okay.
Gen Z, represent the bad
3, 2, 1, go.
My guys.
Go, Gen Z.
Jasiri jaw-dropping journalist. Jasiri jaw-dropping journalist. Jasiri jaw-dropping journalist. Jasiri jaw-dropping journalist.
Faster! You're
Jasiri jaw-dropping journalist. Jasiri jaw-dropping
Say it 2 times faster. What are you talking? I can say it at that
Thank
pace.
God I said you should say it. I don't have to say it.
No, you do.
You know? I don't.
Okay, say it. You said it just once. You challenged
to the table.
I challenged the table. I said scintillating, and that's jaw-dropping enough.
Wow.
Can you take a look at
One of
that?
my friends does this. That's agency. Is this something?
Yeah,
Is it a dance like that?
Oh,
It's easy. This is your dance. This is just, it's a very lolo.
Ladies, everything is not Gen Z, you know. That dance came from someone who was imitating his mom.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
So you know like how the
Because if any man has been dancing it, I just follow.
Exactly.
But I didn't know the origin of it.
Can you
So it's a mommy dance.
Yeah.
Hey.
But now you now add
Steez and composure.
you add steez,
And then you
And so you are going to try the mommy dance, eh?
Where's the music?
No,
I don't dance for free.
Really?
Like Tina Turner said, I'm a private dancer.
Oh
a dancer for
Okay,
money. What you want me to do?
I know it's Friday. Guys are wondering what's happening. It's Friday. It's Hot Topics Special Friday. But before we go on a break, I want us to take a look at a video that showed a deep sense of empathy. And he's always saying empathy. Empathy as Nigerians. Now, can we have the video?
No.
I want to share something that really reminded me of conscience as Nigerians.
All right, so this is a Black Maria carrying prisoners. Sometimes we don't need to know the whole story as Nigerians before we jump onto it.
Yeah, so I think that it's filled with inmates, and then everyone was moved to feed them.
Yeah, give them money, I think.
This is, you know, and it's for us, because this is sometimes it's a catch-22. Sometimes we judge, we are quick to judge as Nigerians. Oh, he's in prison, oh, Lord Majo, I don't want to have anything to do with it. But at the same time, you just see that on the flip side, you're saying that these are prisoners. Maybe they've been confined for a long time.
Yeah.
They haven't seen outside. Okay, let's start with, and it could have just started with somebody offering gala.
Yeah.
Somebody offering pure water. Somebody, and they're just giving.
You know the funny thing with prisoners,
Look at them, they're just giving.
Some of them are actually falsely
accused. Some of them are waiting trial forever.
They're falsely, accused. Some of them have been imprisoned under false accusations.
Gen Z.
I'm sorry, Gen Z will never agree.
Now, I understand that there is a...
That's how somebody will hand them knife.
I understand that there are people there who probably are convicted wrongly, falsely accused and all that. But let's not forget that amidst them might be murderers, rapists,
I know.
arsonists. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't be humane or empathetic, but they're prisoners. I'm sorry, but no.
They are prisoners.
You won't give them gala?
Yeah, I don't. You know,
So you would have wound up at face front and just kept it moving.
I will even participate.
But me, I've just come to find out that Nigerians are actually very, very kind at heart. Our hospitality...
And I think sometimes we're too kind.
Yeah, maybe.
We just need something to move us, I guess.
To move us. Honestly, if Nigerians find a cause that they believe in, they're easily moved. That's why if our government does better for us as a people, I think Nigerians might actually turn out to be better, generally.
But you know what I think? I feel like Nigerians are not, I'm not saying they're not kind, because for you to be moved to do something and it means that you're kind, but I feel like we have a serious bandwagon mentality, right? If there's a beggar on the street, for example, maybe the normal person would not want to offer help. But go on social media and somebody else post a picture of that same beggar, you will be the first person to help. I remember there's this guy, he's still there, he still does it, a traffic warden that always dances. I see that guy every day, and I made a joke about it one day. I'm like, somebody will just take a picture of this guy. People are passing him now, nobody's giving him money. Someone will just take a picture or video of him and post it online, and you see people donating. Lo and behold, in the next 1 month after I said that, I saw his video trending online and people were contributing. I'm like, but you guys are always passing this guy and nobody is giving him anything.
No, I don't believe that. You know, sometimes life happens and it's like we actors. When the spotlight falls on you, it wasn't like you were not there all along. But something just shines the light on you and makes people see something in a different light. And you just amplify that thing to people. I think that's what really happens. I don't think
it's social media. We are in the age of social media. People are mostly, just take a look at those around you. People are mostly on their phones. You see, people they have their earpieces on and they're looking on the phones, even while traversing the streets. They are on the phone. So these are the side effects that are not so good of social media, the digital space. You feel that, okay, once this person is online, because you see comments, some people get a high off of comments as well. Okay, this person is doing this, so I'm going to do more. It's like an auction. Someone's donating 5K, I'm going to donate 5.5. Someone's donating 5.7, I'm going to donate 6.2. And before you know it, it's almost like, so I think that's a spin-off of, it's part of the dregs that we get from being...
But at least in this video, we see that even those that do not have a lot, you see them running to the bottom, giving their 5 naira, giving their 100 naira, their 200 naira. It just shows that it's hard for people, but there's still humanity in them. And that's something commendable. And I've seen Nigerians do it over and over again, even for causes that have no sense.
Yeah, because Annie always talks about empathy. We are not empathetic enough. We are not. Annie, does this, how do you feel? Does this pass your test of empathy?
It's not necessarily my test of empathy. I think that all of us come with empathy, and then the life that you have beats that out of you. If you've had hard experiences, if you've been around toxic people, if you've been around people that make you feel like something is wrong with you, or what have you, if you're rejected, those kinds of things, economic hardship as well, they tamper with people's empathy, because sometimes it feels like, you know, the kinder you are, the easier you are to be taken for granted, and people think, oh, you know, this person is a pushover, whatever. So it's not a question of whether that came out of empathy or not. I think that Nigerians are good people that have had bad circumstances, and those circumstances have conditioned our minds, the ways that we work, the ways that we see each other, the ways that we treat each other, you know. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but that's what it is.
Yeah, so I do understand, especially what Lolo said about the people who seemingly do not have as much, being the ones that are giving the most. And it's more like two sides of a coin. I remember saying to Annie and Catherine the other time that there was a book I read where a father was strict to his 2 sons, and one of them turned out really successful and kind, and the other one turned out really miserable and, you know, completely opposite. And when they asked both of them, what's the reason why you turned out like this, they gave the same answer. my father was unkind, my father was strict, it was harsh. And you would see that we are going through the same condition. So that's just basically buttressing what Annie says, that it's like there are two kinds of Nigerians, right? The ones that will say, no, be only they suffer, all of us, they suffer. So you've experienced it so much so that you believe that everybody should just experience themselves. And, you know, and then they're the Nigerians that would say, oh, I understand what this person is going through, so I want to give. Like, I'm experiencing the same thing, so I want to give. So it's like two sides of a coin.
I agree.
But regardless, it was a beautiful gesture. I mean, to see, whenever you see people rallying around, it's a good thing. Hopefully, it carries on to the places that actually matter. But yeah.
Yes, actually.
Empathy and the reality.
So when you see our president, will you be empathetic towards him?
Are you asking?
Have empathy towards him.
Yes.
Tinubu? President, sorry, His Excellency.
Yes.
I mean, His
Excellency
is excellent.
That teach excellency.
So, okay, this is my answer. His Excellency is excellent in his lack of empathy towards us. So therefore, I'm not sure if I can be as excellent.
That, Bridgerton delivered.
That was excellently
Delivered. Empathically.
Let them drink water, I think.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, Captain said it's time to drink water, so we'll go on a short break now. And of course, when we come back, we're ushering in our guests. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to the show. Our guest is in the studio with us. In case you don't know, this is Jasiri Hot Topics Special, and we're about to bring down the house. Let's do it, girls. All right.
Hey.
If they will let me introduce the young man. Our guest today is an award-winning actor, a director's dream, a voiceover artist extraordinaire, and a film and TV producer. Please give a massive Jasiri welcome to my colleague and my friend, Seun Ajayi.
Who is a director's dream? Amanda. If it's too much.
Introductions have. I was looking for the person.
Like you. Even me, I'm like, director's dream.
Director's dream.
Oh yeah.
Not die.
Seun's a dream to work with. Yes. I mean,
Thanks for having me.
All right. So before we dive into our hot topics, I'm curious as to how you're married.
Yes.
You've got children, so you've got a family.
Yes.
You've got a business that you run.
Yes.
Your wife's got a business that she runs. You have a film that's currently coming out. It's going to be out soon.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. So there's a lot of things on your plate. How do
Don't
you
forget
manage?
Teen Actors Bootcamp.
Oh, that's true. Yes, Actors Bootcamp as
Teen
well.
Actors Bootcamp, yes.
So, Mr. Ajayi, you're doing a lot. A lot.
A lot.
How are you doing a lot? And still, you know, maintaining steez, composure, and...
So first of all, I think you should just keep the compliments.
He's
He's taking it in.
It's what we do on Jasiri Gang.
Let me give you my mommy dance.
But, I mean, so, to be honest with you, I don't know that there's a specific system, but, you know, I have a great spouse who, I mean, she gives me all the support that she can. She's my biggest marketer.
Shout out to a guy who shouts out his woman as the first thing for gang. We need more.
So Dami she would pitch me to everyone. She would market me to everyone, you know, and always, you know, put her energy, time, and even money behind projects that I start and railroad her into, like things like, you know, the Teen Actors Bootcamp, which is a class for teenagers for the summer. There have been so many other things. You know, I did this thing where we come together and give clothes away, you know, and she called all our friends, everybody donated their clothes, donated financially, and also I think one of the things that gives me wings is having a great spouse that's very supportive.
That's amazing.
We need to study her in Harvard. There must be something she knows that she needs to tell the world.
That's genuinely very beautiful. And before we get all emotional and wishy-washy, because I'm about to start doing God when, and, you know, plastic and things like that. But anyways, it's time for our hot topics, and we have our guests to do justice to that. Now, our first hot topic, we're talking about empathy, right? Nigerians and empathy. And this just plays out in this story. Now, Nigerians and South Africans have taken their online rivalry to a new level by engaging in a bizarre ride-canceling battle on e-hailing platforms like Bolt and Uber. Now, South Africans initiated the prank. Now, I hear that it was started by one man, and they've started pointing fingers at him now. Now, they initiated the prank by ordering rides in Nigeria and canceling them at the last minute, right? And this led to Nigerians retaliating in kind, mobilizing en masse to do the same in South Africa. Let me explain this. So they're ordering rides, they're in their houses in South Africa, ordering rides in Nigeria, any random place in Nigeria, and then Nigerians will get there and then they will cancel. The funny thing is, very quick details about this is, in South Africa, you pay to cancel a ride. In Nigeria, you don't pay to cancel a ride. In South Africa, it's harder to find a ride technically. In Nigeria, it's not as hard. Nigerians are 200 million in population. So people have started saying that if Nigerians decide, which they have actually, to retaliate, it's not going to be funny. And trust me, it's not funny, because now we're seeing a lot of, somebody woke up and ordered 10 rides within Johannesburg, and it led to a surge within that area. People can hardly find rides, so people are stuck, they're stranded, and it's leading to loss of money, because you're losing money when they cancel the rides, you're losing money, and then the riders are losing time. I saw like 5 different Nigerians, young Nigerians, order about 20 rides within a space, and it led to serious congestion.
You didn't see that tweet? So I have a freezer, plasma TV. I love that.
Yes.
Just go and pick it.
So who wants to go? Because I want to go. Like, is anybody? Anyone?
So very quick, let me also add that as at this morning, there are people who are now organizing meetings, like between South African conglomerates and cancelling on them. Like, you would call a meeting, ask them to meet you at a restaurant, they'll be there, and then you cancel. So Nigerians are taking it that far.
Yeah.
Let me hear from Seun first.
Because he's our guest before the ladies.
I mean, for me, the single word that comes to mind is why. Why start this kind of fight when you don't have you don't have the training, you don't have the muscle. You don't have the training, you don't have the muscle. I mean, so the fun rivalry between Nigeria and South Africa, it has been on for ages. Sometimes it gets really ugly. Sometimes it's just bants. But this one that they started, I don't think that they can. You know, they've made a mess that they cannot clean.
Yeah. Some people say it's South Africa that doesn't like Nigeria, then it's Nigerians that don't like South Africans, and it becomes like a case of the chicken and the egg, which one came first. But personally, I feel like something must have happened that we're not aware of along the lines, because I'm very certain that when South Africa was struggling with apartheid, Nigeria was very instrumental in helping that fight. I know that in 1960, I believe it was, there was something called the South African Relief Fund. And Nigeria instituted that fund for South Africans. And I think they tasked us, like civil servants, citizens as well, to give a portion of their salaries. And through the ANC, that's the African National Congress, we were able to build, I think, to raise $61 billion.
Right, so you're saying that
South Africa between 1990 and 1960 and 1990.
Nigeria
so you say they should not forget. So you are.
No, I'm saying we worked together. We worked together at some point. It's not even just that. There's so many things that Nigerians have done. People that were exiled from South Africa because they were fighting apartheid, they were brought to Nigeria. Nigerians gave them, asylum. They gave them scholarships. They went to university.
I don't even mind if it is friendly joust on social media.
No,
but we know that
it is more than that.
South Africa has a history of violence. Before you know what is happening, this becomes another xenophobic thing where they will start to physically attack Nigerians. So we have to be careful. I know our boys here might be finding it like play, but we might be jeopardizing the lives of our people in South Africa.
That's what I'm saying.
So
why aren't we trying to find out what the genesis of the rift is?
No,
because clearly there's a rift.
My sister,
what is the genesis of the rift?
The Genesis is like that Genesis in the Bible.
It's not.
It's
not. Okay, go ahead. Okay.
You see, this thief, we are Genesising it. It's a bottomless pit. You know, go see where it
everything has a beginning.
Look at where it started. Look at where you're giving history. And Nigeria has been instrumental. I'm not Janimpa.
Very.
But look at South Africans. It's a simple thing like our women are following your men too much. Why do Nigerians? Because we are confident. Nigerians are confident. They will come into your space and take over. It could be a small thing that can have that ripple.
So that will spark that level of hate, nationwide hate.
Now, I understand that, you know, sometimes it starts off as friendly banter, because we know that several times when issues like this come up between Nigerians and South Africa, it could be the football games, it could be Chidinma Additional, because I know that's what resulted in this, right? A lot of times South Africans will come out and, you know, just throw, and it's not just Nigeria, right? Sometimes they throw it at Ghana, sometimes Nigeria throws at Ghana. So do you think that it's because Nigerians know how to fight back that South Africans keep poking at them?
So this is a South African, I'm assuming, saying South Africans are, she first threw this out. South Africans are doing a request in Nigeria challenge where they're requesting Uber rides in Nigeria and wasting drivers' money, time and fuel. Please, if you're Nigerian, share this to alert them. This is so hateful and nasty. So I think she, you know, and then, of course, it began to make its way to
South African women don't hate Nigerians. No. Let's lay that premise. South African women,
I'm on my way.
don't hate Nigerian men.
Okay. Hi, do you know Chichi Adeshina? She will give you my package for drugs. They are going to SA. I have her new South African ID and passport. Give them to her.
So this is obviously when Nigerians started to retaliate. But I mean, I'm coming back to my question, because a lot of times we see these kind of things play out, right? And then we are expecting, like Lolo said, Nigerians need to be careful because you guys have, but we have South Africans in Nigeria too. And
we do not have a history.
No, it's not even about the history.
Hurting them, but they have a history of hurting Nigerians.
Let me tell you guys a story.
Let me
tell you guys a story. So there was a place I used to work at. It was a German company. The Germans said to us in the Nigeria, when we moved down here, they said they have a panic button in the office, and they wanted all of us to know where the panic button was. And when we pressed the panic button, in case anything happens, the police or security was going to come for the Germans. And one of the Germans said to me verbatim, they're not coming for you guys. They will come and evacuate us. This was when they had moved into our own country. So Nigerians won't have that kind of access to South Africans in Nigeria, because other countries have protecting their citizens. Exactly. Exactly. Nigeria and South Africa, some of them don't go there legally. Some of them are there, you know. I'm not saying they're all creating a menace to society, but the point is, are you going to run to the Nigerian embassy and get any kind of protection?
Don't go there.
I'm going there. Let's go there.
I think that we need to teach people how to treat us.
Yeah. Yes.
We need to teach people how to treat ourselves. When we begin to treat ourselves well, then people will have a bit more respect for us as a country and as a people, and not just that, as like an identity that is Nigerian, because I feel like, you know, love your neighbor as yourself is very interesting. Because sometimes your neighbor doesn't love themselves enough. So I feel like as Nigerians, we need to, you know how the Minister of Interior had said that he was going to start this thing where we not retaliate is not the word now, but we reciprocate in how, you know, the embassies treat Nigerians, how the hoops that you have to jump through to get a visa and stuff like that. I think that thing should become like across all disciplines, across different sectors, you know, for Nigerians who are all over the world, because it's enough. Nigeria used to be nicknamed South Africa's big brother. Now we are the butt of South African jokes.
Well, we can't separate that from the fact that we don't like it, but it's true. South Africa's economy dwarfs ours by yards and yards.
They're doing better.
Yes, and maybe that might be one of the reasons why this silent war started, because you had Nigeria that was independent before South Africa was. So essentially, like you said, with the big brother, imagine if you have a younger kid that comes and usurps and gets bigger and not everybody can handle it. I'm not saying we are the ones at fault too. I'm just saying perhaps these are some of the undercurrents of.
Hey, but those for me, that's throwing it way back, past where even these Gen Zs and these kinds of people get to. Yeah. You are talking from a historical point because you have knowledge. Some of these children fighting, they do not even know what is the cause of the fight. And you see they are just continuing a trend. Yes. And we have come to find out that social media trends sometimes can become harmful.
Very true.
And hateful.
Very true.
And at the end of the day, there are many miscreants on both sides that have nothing to do with their lives. They will just start to attack each other. And everybody will start to remember when something was happening in South Africa. In Nigeria, they went to loot MTN. Because they felt it was a South African company. And they forget that there are Nigerians that have jobs there.
Nigerians own the property. Nigerians work in those buildings. Yeah.
But those are the kinds of things I want to forestall. So even if they think it's fun, there's a place you can
need to draw the line and stop.
No, enough.
Okay, so very quickly, we have reactions to this. Let's take that and see what people are saying about it. Reactions. Okay, now this one says, dear Nigerians, I beg, the cruise is okay. Let's be bigger, I beg. Stop paying bad for bad. Pay bad with evil. I just knew that. Order a ride, put your location at the airport. That way the South African drivers will pay parking fee. Oh my God. Let love lead. Vote for both South Africans. Oh wow. This one says, both South Africa is down. Nigerians took this vote for both fight too personal. We did match out. Kenyans, what do we do with you now? Okay, another one says, it took a rivalry to expose a huge flaw on the Bolt app. Ideally, no one should be able to order rides from another country.
It's ridiculous.
It doesn't make any sense.
Okay, so this one says, South Africans say Bolt is dominated by Nigeria, and the best ordering platform is dominated by Zimbabweans. The whites own the big firms plus real estate. Now, what do South Africans own in their country apart from raping and beating their women?
No, that's a lot.
Whoa!
Wow.
Deep.
That was deep. That was below the bed.
Nigerians have crashed Uber at both sites in South Africa. I am crying on behalf of South African boat riders. Wow. Congratulations to Nigeria for winning the boat-to-boat challenge. Your dedication and spirit are truly inspiring. Now that's over, let's ensure rights stay local. Support your own. And this is a huge point because I'm wondering, why is it possible? I have tried it before, right? I was trying to order boats, and you know this thing where to show you the large map at first, and then you are seeing places like Johannesburg, you're like, okay, is this supposed to be possible? I never thought it was possible until I started seeing these trends. And to be honest, that has exposed the
But do you know another thing I see here? We're talking about bettering our country. But I found out that if we have causes that we think is fun and games, everybody is all out. But when they say come out, fight for your country, stand,
it's cricket.
Burn yourself for your country. Don't eat for 35 days. Stay outside and be like, if they don't do Nigeria better, I will not eat. I will dry here.
Do you know why that is?
They will never.
Do you know why that is? It's interesting that we come together in the craziest of circumstances. We come, see, our unity not die. You can't, super glue you cannot unglue us. But you see, I think Nigerians have lost faith in the country. They've lost faith in the leaders. They've lost faith in the government. In as much as we say government is representative, is a representation of the people. They are jaded. They are blasé. They don't. So I don't know if I'm making sense.
I think partly you are making plenty of sense. But I think that more importantly, we've lost faith in ourselves. We've lost faith in, ourselves being able to make things better while we are here.
And I'm going to piggyback on that and say this. One of the things that builds faith, I mean, I don't know if we can talk about Christianity, but it's said that you hear something and you hear it and hear it and hear it, and that means information. And so it is so important to read and understand and know why things are happening. I feel like we have a lot of passion. That's why we jump on things. We jump on trends. We support people en masse. But we have passion without information. And passion without information is noise. And you can silence noise. But passion and information is truth, and you cannot silence truth. Because listen, if you take me down with the truth remains. Someone else can run with it, another person can run with it, but noise, you can just whoosh and it's gone. And I think that that's one of the things that happens with Nigerians. We have a lot of noise. We make noise.
You think we don't
But there
read
is
enough?
not enough impact because the noise isn't backed by information, which makes it a general truth that all of us can run with. There was I don't know if you know about this thing that happened in South Africa in 1961. It was called the Sharpeville massacre. 69 black South Africans were killed because of apartheid. Nigeria was instrumental. Like, Nigeria was at the forefront fighting to take South Africa out of the Commonwealth of Nations because of that. So you see, if me, because we're talking about the kids, don't know what's going on, blah, blah, blah.
Of course.
If I know this as a Nigerian, and my friend or my enemy that's a South African knows this, they'll be like, oh, listen, why are we fighting? Because we've helped each other in the past.
But that is what I'm saying about this generation. How interested are we about our own black history?
Not
Except
very much.
the history that is told to us from outside.
Exactly.
We are storytellers. Honestly, there's so much, like, Yoruba has a saying, Wani omode ti o ba ba itan, aba aroba. Aroba de ni baba aton. That means aroba is word for word. When your father says it to you, you say it to your children.
Oral tradition.
Oral tradition. And it just keeps handing down like that. Those are some of the things that Africa did that didn't put us where we're supposed to be. Documentation that is proper. Look at history in schools. My daughter is studying history. Now she's teaching me things about Africa I am not even aware of. But these are things, I know Martin Luther King, I know Malcolm X. Why? Because I heard it. They put it forward. They made him a hero to everyone across the world. We have heroes in Africa, in Nigeria, in South Africa, everywhere. That many of them are unsung, unremembered, undocumented.
So very quickly, we need to go, but I need to say something as well. And this is not me disputing what everyone has said, but to be honest, the history would not matter if South Africans would go against Nigerians because they're coming to South Africa to sell and making money. Because let's not lie, this has nothing to do with the history. This xenophobic
it has
attacks,
everything
I know that
to do with
it's
the
not
history.
it's not only against
Everything
Nigerians.
to do with the
but
history.
recently you see South Africans ganging up against Nigerian sellers, the Igbo people, the Yoruba people that are coming to sell.
But that, has a premise.
Exactly.
It's the same premise.
There's a premise.
The premise of
you can't
that
say it
is
has
the
nothing to do
fact
with
that
history.
immigrants have built economies all around the world.
Exactly.
What is happening in the UK now is that they feel that the immigrants are
taking
coming
over.
and taking over.
Exactly.
So that is what
you cannot divorce what is happening in your current reality from where it started.
Guys,
everything has a beginning.
Because I have a lot to say on this as well. Towing the line of when you say immigrants have built economies across the continent.
The world,
But it is not a conversation, because if we go on this conversation, my sister, the whole of Jasiri, till the end of the show. So Lola will take us to the next
All right. The next break. We'll be going on a short break.
Okay. So let's
Is that
go
where
on
we're going?
break.
Yes, we are.
We're going on a short break, and Seun Ajayi is still with us, and it's still Hot Topics Special, and it's still Jasiri. So just sit back. It's getting hotter. It's Friday. Welcome back to Jasiri. Honestly, Jasiri is as hot when it's on air
and off.
like when we're off air. We still have the very amazing Seun Ajayi with us. And our next story is another actor story, actually. This time it's Kunle Remi, a fellow actor, who recently shared his thoughts on what makes a movie cinema worthy. He believes that not all films are made for the big screen and that audiences and filmmakers often confuse TV quality films with cinematic experience. He emphasized the importance of understanding the difference between cinema and TV films. Interesting.
So what makes a movie cinema worthy then?
Actually, I thought we were
give it right to the let's give it to the man in the house.
Yes.
So I think that a cinema-worthy film, really, cinema is about creating an outer worldly experience where the audience walks into a room, they shut off their the logical part of their brain, and they taught me this in school, so they suspend their disbelief, right? and they go into an experience where you take them on this incredible journey. Now, the difference for me is, this is how I can explain it to anyone. When last summer, I was in Maryland in the US. I was in Maryland in the US, and I went to see this film titled Oppenheimer. And even before the film showed, there were ads, right? You know, they do the trailers.
Before.
There were trailers before, and you know, I hadn't been to the cinema in a long time, and I remembered why I wanted to be an actor. Why I wanted to go into this culture of creating stories for the big screen, because there was a difference. So it's an immersion with sound, with video, with how the story is told. That's why, you know, people talk about, you know, all those technical terms of Super Max HD 4XD.
Yeah, because there's a real
it's about the experience.
Yeah.
The first time I saw a 3D movie was the second trilogy of the Lord of the Rings.
Rings of Power, not Rings of
No,
Power.
not Rings of Power. The Hobbit. The Hobbit story. And you know, there was you just have goosebumps, you know. And then I saw the latest Tom Cruise movie, Mission Impossible. Those things bring the experience of cinema together. Now, on a technological level, right? We're not in that place in Nigeria yet. But based on the size of the story and the experience that you create, right? It tells you the difference, whether this is for cinema or this.
Like, let me ask the question.
I do agree.
Tip of my tongue.
Yes.
Is it not about affordability and being able? Because when we're talking about cinema, everybody talks about the experience. To create that experience, it takes a lot of money. And I always tell people that the culture of Africa, we were built by oil. America, their civilization and their, let's say, their wherewithal came from movies and cinema. Entertainment built them. So it's not the same. Nigerians came from a very disadvantaged point. And I always want to commend the forefathers, because we are pigging on their blood and sweat. I'm not even talking about today's zone. I'm talking about Baogunde. I'm talking about Baba Salah, that did those black and white reel, that those times it was a lot to put together. But look at our own present time. Do you think now, I would ask you, is in Nigeria now, is it not like a cartel thing? Because one, you can't tell me that there are some producers who have the story. No, I want to know, because I'm a producer myself. I've done 2 cinema movies, and they might say it's not up to par, but it's my millions.
It's your millions.
One is about to still come, but it might not be at that. But are you, are you saying that, is it not like they're stifling creativity? Because one, a very good producer don't have the right click, don't have the money to produce.
It's a bigger conversation.
So what are you asking Seun now?
I want to know, is it that this cinema-worthy experience that everybody is expecting us to get to, how do we get there, if not through the bigger cartels?
Oh, no.
Who have the money?
No. So that's not it. That's not it. So it's about the creative choices that you make while telling the story. It's about the creative choices that you make while telling the story. There's a base level of, you know, the equipment that you need, the hands. People make movies. Equipment and money doesn't make movies.
Because you can have the
human beings make movies, right? Now, I've seen films in Nigeria that are Nigerian films that are cinema experience. When I saw the opening, the first 4 minutes of A Tribe Called Judah, I was hyped.
Thank you.
Right? I was hyped.
Exactly.
That was a cinema experience being created. Right? When I saw the first few moments of what Brotherhood All Brotherhood was. I was excited. That was the film. Right? Let's not be Breath of Life. Wow. That's incredible. So first of all, Breath of Life, the first few minutes just
took you out of this world. Yes. Took you out of
Thank you for the narration.
Something though, this is from someone who, coming from the perspective of someone who can go to the cinema to see anything, even Baby Shark, right? I'm asking because a lot of people would say that creativity and storytelling varies based on the viewer's taste and preference. Now, I'm saying there are people who do not like dramatics. There are people who do not like the sound. There are people who only go to the cinema because of that bang, 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 you know, and that's why they go for maybe movies just to watch something that would blow their minds. But there are people who do not like that unnecessary repetition. There are people who just want to go there to watch love stories, or there are people who want to go there to watch sad movies that will reflect their lives. Oh, you're sad, I'm sad. Oh, we're all sad together. So in that scenario, right, I understand that the picture, the production and everything plays a role. But if you want to, would I say, persuade someone who doesn't care much about storytelling, and just wants to go and watch anything, apologies for that. If you want to, persuade someone who just wants to watch anything that will just suit their minds in the cinema, how do you now say, oh, this movie is not for cinema? They'll tell you, movie is movie, right? It plays differently on cinema. It has there are bigger pictures. There's a different effect. It doesn't really. There's no major difference, right? And this is coming from, from you guys who are experts in the field. But there are people who just want to watch a movie. So how do you tell someone like that, oh, this movie is for cinema, this is not for cinema?
I don't think that you can. You see, something like, let me say it like this. If Henry Ford didn't make the car, right? People will have asked for faster horses, something. So sometimes the audience is not exactly pinpoint, absolutely sure what they want until they see it. Right? And I'm not saying that love stories or deep drama can't be cinematic experiences.
They actually are. There's so many.
There's so many of them.
Drama girls.
So like I said, it is about the creative choices made and the world that is created. La La Land was a cinematic experience. It was a love story. The Notebook, millions of people went to see it. Right? So it's about the choices.
It is about the choices.
I think it's about,
and really it's touch and go. So there's no like rule book of, oh, tick this button. No.
For me, I think that really, if we're going to say cinematic movies now, maybe there needs to be a criteria based on technicality. Because I would argue with you on story. Everybody's story can be told from any perspective. And that's why we have genres that people would like. I love supernatural films. Every film I've written, produced, I've had a supernatural angle. Some like action comedy, and that's what Fika Kindele does so expertly. Some love stories are Biodun Stevens' thing. He tells family dramas, and you can't tell me it's not an experience, except it's on technicality. I don't think it's about the story.
What pushes filmmakers to want to go the cinema route? Because it almost feels like if you don't go the cinema route, you're not doing enough, or your movie's not up to par. Is it pressure to succeed, to be a part of that clique? Is it pressure to? Is it a misunderstanding that of the fact that my sister, my brother, your movie can be good? It's just not. Cinema is not the only way to the market.
So sometimes I think it tends to happen where producers look at it as, okay, I'm in GSS1, I'm doing YouTube, I'm in GS2. Now I'm talking to streamers I'm talking to streamers to license my content, right? Then I'm now doing Jam. That's trying to enter the cinema. No. I don't. It's not what it is. Some people pick a niche and they face it. Right? And sometimes the story itself is the one that will carry you to the place where you don't know. Right? Because you write, you just want to tell a story. You write it and you share it with someone that says, no, don't put this don't put this, don't just send this to festivals. You know, maybe you should send it to Netflix to check it out, or you know, or don't just put this out for streamers. Let's try cinema. You get? So based on how the film will, or the story that you tell will travel and go to the places based on how you tell it. How you tell it.
Exactly.
How you tell it is mommy. Don't say it.
No, I actually want to. And I know that you might push back, but here's the thing. We're both in the same industry. How frustrating is it when people call you and say, I want your talent, but I don't want to pay for that level of talent. The first thing they tell you is, you know, we don't have money. This has been my response from the beginning of time. If you are going to eat a frog, you eat a big one. If you're going to do something, be prepared to do it. Go and take the time, find the funding. I know it's not necessarily easy, but we can't keep comparing ourselves to our Western counterparts when we are not operating on the same level as they are. You would go on set and find someone, they say something that they shouldn't say. For instance, they just talk rubbish, and they don't even edit it out. They say, okay, let's just continue. No. So we have a standards issue across the board.
All right, then
let's not talk standards, because that's another topic.
Okay, the bread of 1.7, you go for the bread of 1.
That's another topic.
I mean, heavy. We could drag this out the whole of the day, but this is the much time we can take. Thank you so much, Seun Ajayi. You truly are a director's dream. And it's so good to have you join us today to discuss all of these, and I like that the topics aligned with your area of expertise. So thank you so much. And it's always been a pleasure being here, giving you the hottest and trendiest gist on Jasiri. We've got more. If only you'd follow us tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Tomorrow they'll follow you.
I'm sorry. If you see the show is so nice that I don't want to go, guys. It's the weekend. Can't we just sacrifice one day? We'll discuss it. But anyways, join us every weekdays, 10 a.m. Mondays to Fridays, and Saturdays if you want. And then we'll bring you the hottest and trendiest stories from me and the ladies. It's a good. Bye, mommy.